They say art imitates life. But what happens when life imitates art? Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission to explore a strange new world, to seek new life and civilization, and to boldly go where no man has gone before. Yeah. We are talking about the original Star Trek, created in 1964 by Gene Roddenberry, and produced in 1966 by Desilu Productions on NBC. It ran for 3 years, and it is notable for its technologies that it envisioned, and the fact that it made science fiction a little bit stronger, that we expect more from science fiction TV shows. It spawned 6 series, 11 movies, cartoons, and dozens of games. To boldly go where no man has gone before is actually word for word out of a White House booklet that was written after the 1957 Sputnik shuttle. Imagine a time, USA, USSR, Cold War, Civil Rights Movement, and a little black girl is sitting there and turns on her TV. And when she turns it on, what does she see? A very good-looking man, Captain Kirk. A beautiful black woman, Lieutenant Aurora. The man with these pointy ears, Mr. Spock. 3 people, man, woman, and whatever, working together for a common cause, in peace. And this little girl looked, and she stood, and she ran up the stairs and said, "Mom, I'm not going to be a maid, I'm going to be an actress." And Whoopi Goldberg became that actress. And Mae Jemison, our first African-American woman in space, was actually moved and influenced by Star Trek. Now, one of the things Star Trek did was every show, somebody would go down to the planet, and they would communicate through their communicator. They had their tricorder where they would record what was going on. They had these really cool phaser pistols. And if a being would come at them, they could just shoot this thing. And you know what? It would disintegrate. But Captain Kirk was benevolent, and so he said, just put it to stun. And don't our law enforcement agencies now use tasers to stun people instead of using deadly force? And our communicators, do we not have cell phones? And our tricorders, the iPad, the iPhones, the playbooks. Back in the 60s, if you had a computer, it was an entire room. On the Starship was a little box. Welcome to the personal computer. And Mr. Spock, do you remember what he used to do? He had this little disc, a disc that he'd put in the computer, and he'd walk from room to room, pop that disc in, and he could access the computer. The floppy disk was invented. And Lieutenant Aurora, she had this earpiece that she could communicate with everyone. Hello, Bluetooth. They had to keep track of their people down on the planet because otherwise the transporter beam couldn't bring them back. The GPS. Tricorders are iPads. And please, let's not forget those really cool plasma screens. Can't watch Star Trek without thinking of Bones, Dr. McCoy, and his medical marvels. And we took notice of these things. For instance, he had the hypo spray. Now, what kid wouldn't want a hypo spray? What kid wouldn't want to not have to get an injection? Thank you, Dozon. It is a migraine medicine that through compressed nitrogen will actually inject the medicine into you without breaking your skin. And what about those virtual medical monitors? Every patient had this monitor over their head, and the monitor would give you your vital signs, your respiration, respiration, your heartbeats. And Honolulu has just instituted that on every bed, they have the virtual monitors. Dr. McCoy, he had some cool gadgets. He had this one, it was a medical tricorder. They like these tricorder things. And they would just do one of these and they could tell everything about you. And welcome to the Standoff Patient Triage Tool, or SPTT in the medical industry. This is actually being created right now by Homeland Security and various medical universities. And what it's going to do is from 5 to 40 feet away, they're going to scan you and be able to see what is wrong with you. And it's going to be used in triage situations. And lastly, let's not forget, we have the Venus drug. Harcourt Fenton Mudd developed the little pill that when you took that, the woman was beautiful. And the cosmetic industries, they took note of this. They said, you know, there's something about this. So we have our diet pills, and we have our laser treatments, and we have all of our different beauty substances that we can see from good old Harcourt. And in 1976, a fan-based grassroots organization took place, and we named the first spaceship orbiter the Enterprise after the Starship. So, life imitating art? Thank goodness, challenge accepted, because look at all the wonderful marvels we have received from Starship.